So many CPA firms hit this point where it feels like you're all working harder than ever, but you're not actually growing. It's this invisible wall, right? The growth ceiling. So how are some firms just shattering through it? How are they doubling their capacity without doubling their staff? Well, that's exactly the puzzle we're going to solve today. Let's jump right in. Okay, let's just face it. This quote, it really hits home, doesn't it? If you're running a CPA firm, this is basically your daily life. The accounting world is moving at lightning speed. Deadlines are just getting tighter and tighter. Clients want updates like yesterday. And finding good talent? Oh man, it's a constant and really expensive battle. It's just a nonstop, high-pressure cycle.
And all that pressure leads right to this big question. Does it ever feel like your firm is just hitting a wall? Like your team is completely maxed out, you are always busy, but when you look at the numbers, that revenue needle just isn't moving up. That right there is the growth ceiling we're talking about.
So what does that ceiling actually look like? Well, these are the common roadblocks. And it's a really vicious cycle when you think about it. You can't find enough skilled staff, so your best people, the ones you really need on high-level stuff, get stuck doing all this low-margin manual work. And what's the result? There's literally zero time left for the high-value advisory services, the stuff that actually grows the firm. It's a perfect recipe for burnout and, honestly, stagnation. So what's the fix? Well, I can tell you what it's not. It's not just about working harder. I mean, your team is probably already doing that. And it's not about just hiring more people into a system that's already strained. No, the real breakthrough comes from a shift in your strategy. It's all about rethinking how you use your team's most valuable asset, their time and their expertise.
And this is what that shift looks like in action. Just look at the before column. It's all that necessary but super time-consuming stuff, right? Reconciliations, transaction classifications, AR, AP, the grind. But then look at the after column. Now we're talking tax planning, business advisory, high-value client strategy. This is where the real value and the real money is. When you strategically move those routine tasks off their plate, your team transforms from reactive bookkeepers to proactive, high-margin advisors. That's the game changer.
Okay, so how do you make this happen? The key is finding the right kind of partner. And listen, this isn't about just firing off tasks to some faceless anonymous service. Not at all. We're talking about a dedicated offshore CPA, a real professional who becomes a true extension of your team, someone who actually learns your systems, your workflows, and understands your clients' needs.
And that word, dedicated, is super important here. What does it really mean? Well, for starters, it means you're working with the same professionals day in and day out. No rotating staff, no revolving door. This way, they build up a deep knowledge of your firm. And crucially, these folks are already experts in US GAAP and the tax workflows you live by. They know QuickBooks, Xero, Drake, whatever you're using, and they're flexible for your time zone. It's a true custom fit.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. What about my brand? I don't want clients to feel like they're being passed off. That's a totally valid concern, and that's where white label accounting comes in. It's simple. Every single report, every deliverable, everything, it's all branded with your firm's name and logo. So to your clients, the experience is completely seamless. You get all the power of an expanded team while protecting that reputation you've worked so hard to build.
Okay, let's talk about the big one, the elephant in the room. The second you mention outsourcing, what's the number one question that comes up? It's always security. But is my client data secure? And honestly, it's absolutely the right question to be asking. How can you be 100% sure your client's sensitive data is locked down and safe?
The answer has to be a resounding yes. And here's how a reputable partner makes that happen. They build security in layers. First off, everything's on encrypted platforms. Access is strictly role-based, meaning people can only see what they absolutely need to see. Of course, you've got signed NDAs as a standard. Plus, there's full compliance with IRS data privacy guidelines, and internal audit trails track every single action. It's all about total accountability. So this strategy is a game changer for your day-to-day bookkeeping for sure, but it goes way beyond that. Think about your most demanding times of the year. Yep, I'm talking about tax season. This same model is designed to help you scale when the pressure is really on. What does that support look like? Well, it means getting expert U.S.-compliant help with everything from individual 1040s to business returns like 1120s and 1065s. We're talking multi-state and federal filing support, work paper prep and review, all that detailed precision work. This handles the heavy lifting on the back end, which frees up your in-house team to focus on client strategy and that all-important final review. Okay, So the strategy sounds great in theory, right? But let's get down to the proof. What are the real, measurable results that firms are actually seeing when they do this? Let's talk numbers.
First up, and this is a big one, a 50% or even more increase in client capacity during the busy season. Just pause and think about what that really means. It means you can finally stop turning away good, new business in March and April just because you don't have the bandwidth.
Next, let's talk about the bottom line. We're looking at a 40 to 60% cost reduction compared to what you'd pay for a local hire once you factor in salary, benefits, everything. That's a direct, immediate boost to your firm's profitability.
And this chart just makes it crystal clear. That bar on the left, that's the average fully loaded cost of an in-house hire. Salary, benefits, overhead, the whole shebang. And the bar on the right, that's the cost of a dedicated outsourced professional. I mean, the difference is huge. And those are savings you can reinvest directly back into growing your firm.
And it's not just about capacity and cost. It's also about speed. Firms are seeing a 25 to 35% faster turnaround on deliverables. And you know what that means? Faster service equals happier, more loyal clients, and a much smoother workflow for your entire team. So, is this some long, complicated process to get started? Not at all. It's actually way faster than you might think. A good partner can have you fully onboarded and ready to roll in just 7 to 10 business days. Seriously. It's a super straightforward process. An initial call to align on your workflows, you provide system access, introduce the teams, and boom, you're ready to go. The whole thing is designed to be low friction and high impact from day one. So, let's just pull this all together. What's the end goal here? It's about getting that growth you want, but without all the usual growing pains. It means you can finally expand your firm without the massive overhead of new hires. You can improve your service delivery and speed. You can stop turning away new clients. And, maybe most important of all, you can free up your incredible team to do the high-value work they were actually hired to do. So really, it all comes down to one final, powerful question for you. If you could really double your firm's capacity, get rid of those bottlenecks, and finally free up your team for strategic, high-value work, what could you build? What new services could you launch? Just how much faster could your firm grow? That's the potential we're talking about. Thanks so much for joining me.